Hi everyone, Sandy here. Welcome to my channel and to another Let's Color with Olo Markers video. Today I am going to make a card using this Pink and Main stamp set that I got from Country Craft Creations, this die set that matches the stamps, and my Olo markers that you can order from countrycraftcreations.com, or you can purchase them in the store in Utah. I picked out the colors I want to use. I am going to stamp the little tiger and the balloon, and I will also be using the happy birthday stamp to make a birthday card. I have my Memento Tuxedo Black ink, which is a dye ink that you want to use with these markers. I have a separate video on what inks you should use and what I tested, so you might want to check that out to make sure that you have the right ink to use with your stamp sets. So stay tuned. Okay, so I used the stamps, the Pink and Main, Floating By. I used the tiger and the single balloon. I know I've done balloon coloring before. You probably think, is that all I can do? But no, I'm going to do the tiger and the balloon because I wanted to use these on a birthday card. So we'll be getting into some other stamps in the next episodes of this video of Let's Color with Olo Markers. So this is a really cute set. I got this from Country Craft Creations. I don't know if it's still available in the store, but there's probably some new Pink and Main stamps and dies. So I used the dies with this after I color it. So I did stamp it with the Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And I'm going to first color my tiger. So I am going to use the OR 4.4 and the OR 4.2. And I'm going to start with the lighter color first, which is the 4.2. And I'm going to color the main sections of my little tiger with this kind of orange-brown color. And the great thing about the Olo markers is they're very juicy, and you just lightly color with the tip of the marker. It's a brush tip, but it just flows so easily that you really don't have to press down a lot to just get your color placed here in place. So I've done this little head with the lighter color, and then I'm going to go in with the darker, the 4.4, and bring in some darker color in here. Ears, right along the edge of his little face, and down in here. And we're going to bring that out, the lighter color. Right there on the ears. And I'm going to go ahead and start coloring in his body with the light color too. And the stripes I'm going to be doing with a dark gray. I'm going to go ahead and lightly color his little belly here. And then his little stripes on his tail. And I'm going to flip this around, and I'm going to go ahead and color in some dark areas. And this is a light kind of orange color. And in my camera, it may not show up real well. I know in my camera, it kind of looks brown, but it does have the orange tone. So just keep kind of going over it to get the color that I want. And also I always color on a pad of paper because the alcohol markers will go bleed through. Let me show you, see? And it can get on your counter space, so you don't want that, or your work table. So I just go over it with the dark in different areas and kind of keep blending out that. So you don't want it solid, all one solid color. You do kind of want the, the shading. So you can do that with just two markers like that. So make sure I put my caps on. The names are on the side. So that's the 4-2 and there's the 4-4. So there is our little tiger. Now we're going to do stripes with the CG7. And I'm just going to go in on each little stripe of him. And I don't, it's such small areas, I'm sorry, I can't even talk, that you don't have to try to shade or blend these. Just color in this dark stripes. Just very lightly use that tip of your marker there. And I'm going to go back in with this lighter color and color the inside of his ears too. And then I'm going to use the darker more on the outer part of his ears. Okay. Then for his little nose, I'm using the R5.3 just right here on his nose and his little tongue. Give him a little pink color there. And I think he turned out really, really cute. So I've already colored him once before and made a card, and I will show you that in just a bit. Now for the balloon, I have the RV.6 and the RV.4. And you'll remember that if you watch my videos before, with this stamp, it's got the light spot right there for you. So your darker is going to be here on the side. So I'm going to go ahead with the dark color. And I'm just going to start pulling that out from the right side. Just very gently along the edge with the tip of the brush, and then bring it out. I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom of the balloon here. Right in there. Okay, so next I'm going to take the lighter color, and right here you'll see that dot. When I open this, be careful with these markers. They're so juicy that it will, a drop of it will fly out and could ruin your image. I've done that. So be very careful with that. So I'm just going to blend the two, the lighter and the darker, together. And then bring the lighter color in to this left side so that it's lighter on the left. And just kind of flick my brush of my marker to get the light over the dark and kind of bring it together. Now you'll notice it's really juicy and wet. It's going to dry. And that's how you're going to get this light, darker on the right, and bring it over to this side here for a lighter color. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to punch them out with my dies. So I have the matching dies that go with the floating by. So I'm going to use this balloon here and the tiger. and punch him out. And then I will show you how I made my card. Okay, so here's my card that I made with my stamped images colored with the Olo markers. They're the balloon here and my little tiger. And I also stamped the happy birthday. So what I did is I went to my stash of papers. These are some really old 6x6 papers that I had. I picked out this teal stripe. I added that. The card base is an A2 card, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So that means to get it opening like this, I cut my piece of paper. This is 11 inches long by 4 1/4. Scored it in half at 5 1/2 and folded it and got my card base. So then I cut my mat out of the blue stripe or the teal stripe. And then I used, this is the back side of this paper. So I used a die from a stash to do the rectangle with the scallop. And I glued this frame down first, and then I glued this piece down using some foam squares. And then I glued my tiger on flat down, and the balloon string goes behind him because he has a string already. And then I use foam squares to match on just the upper part of the balloon so that it extends off into the frame. The happy birthday, I'm added to some of the matching orange paper from a stash, cut it into a flag, and then this part is flat down, and then this is on foam squares to match back here. And on the inside, I just added some of the dotted paper and then this orange square to write my message on. So that is a flat, fairly flat A2 card for mailing in the USA. And I made it out of a paper stash, some older papers that I had, and the pink and Maine floating by stamps colored with my Olo markers. So if you like to make cards or color, I suggest that you really try out the Olo markers. I have a couple of other videos to kind of introduce you to them, go over what's the features of the markers, and then also what type of inks to use. So I have the two beginning um, videos for that, so you should check those out here on my channel. Can be ordered from countrycraftcreations.com and purchased at the retail store in Utah, and also check the different stamps and dies that they may have. So anyway, thanks so very much for watching, and check back with me again later for another Let's Color with Olo Markers video. I hope to have one maybe every week if I can. I do have other projects I have to do for Country Craft Creations as a design team member. So this is just something extra I'm doing because I love to color. So anyway, see you next week, everybody. And be sure to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and click the bell if you subscribe if you haven't already. Bye-bye.